Night City does not know honor. Its skyline glows with artificial ambition. Its streets pulse with the hunger of the desperate and the ruthless alike. This city does not nurture warriors. It feeds survivors. It rewards those who sell their souls, not those who cling to forgotten codes. And yet, she walks, a ghost of chrome and silence. Where others wear armor, she wears discipline. Where others chase fortune, she follows a path only she can see. She is Kurometsu. No fixer claims her. No clan marks her as their own. No corporation holds her leash. She was raised in the city's filth, shaped by its cruelty. But where others knelt before guns, she lifted a sword. Where others submitted to the city's rot, she sought something pure. A weapon forged not by greed but by will. It was will that carried her beyond the Blackwall. No one returns from that abyss. The void does not give back what it takes. But Kurometsu is not a netrunner, nor a scientist, nor a fool chasing glory in the ruins of the old net. She went seeking knowledge, seeking power, seeking something the world had erased, and something returned with her. Her sword hums with a whisper that is not a voice. Her movements are too smooth, too perfect, as if decided before the strike is even made. It is said the Blackwall did not break her. It reforged her. But those who whisper her name in the alleys of Night City do not speak of reforging. They speak of something unnatural, something that should not exist. She is not a samurai of the old world. She is not a soldier of the new. She is something else, a sword with no master, a judgment with no law. Now Night City whispers her name, not in reverence, not in fear, but in uncertainty. Because she is not just a warrior, not just a netrunner, not just a killer. She is the Blackwall samurai, and this is the path she walks. Before the Blackwall, before the legend, she was just another body in the gutter. She never had a name, not one that mattered. The streets didn't give names, they took them. Gangs marked their own, corporations branded their assets, but for the forgotten, there was nothing. Just hunger, just violence, just the next fight. She learned early that nothing in Night City was free, not food, not shelter, not survival. And she learned the only thing sharper than a knife was the instinct to use it first. But she didn't just want to survive, she wanted to be something more. While others buried themselves in cyberware, she searched for something older. In forgotten corners of the net, in the ruins of the old city, she found fragments of another world. A philosophy, a discipline, a way of fighting that didn't rely on tech or bullets, only the will to perfect every motion, every strike. A warrior's code, long abandoned in a city that only valued the fastest trigger. She built herself in secret, forging her body into something beyond the chaos of the streets. But Night City does not reward control. It does not respect restraint. So she left it behind. No one knows why she did it, why she crossed the Blackwall. Some say it was a contract gone wrong, a deal that forced her too deep. Others whisper that she was chasing something, some lost secret buried in the abyss of the old net. The truth? She was looking for a weapon. What she found was something else entirely. She does not remember coming back, only the feeling that something had changed, that something had followed. Her reflexes were sharper, her instincts too perfect, her mind anticipating movements she hadn't yet made. And her blade was no longer just steel. It hummed beneath her grip, not like metal, but like something alive. It did not reflect light. It did not gleam. It was a void shaped into a weapon, an edge where reality itself seemed to falter. Some say it does not just kill, it erases. Some say the Blackwall did not claim her, but whatever waits beyond it still remembers her name. The Katana is not just a weapon. It is an extension of the warrior's will, a tool of precision, a test of discipline. But Kurogane, the black bell, is something else entirely. It moves before she does, as if anticipating the strike before the thought even forms. When drawn, the air hums, not like metal slicing through wind, but like corrupted code struggling to take shape. It is not just black, it is the absence of light, the absence of presence, a void given form. A cut from Kurogane is not a wound, it is a disconnection. Flesh does not simply split, it distorts, flickers, as if reality itself hesitates to acknowledge the strike. Enemies do not just fall, they vanish. Their data corrupts, their minds disconnect, their very existence severed by an energy that should never have crossed the Blackwall. Some say they are dead, others whisper that they are somewhere else. The name Kurogane, Black Steel, Black Bell, is more than a relic of the past. A bell tolls for the dead, but this blade tolls for those who will never be found. It is a silent chime, an omen from the abyss, a weapon that does not just end lives, but erases the proof they ever existed. Because this sword was never meant to be wielded, no known smith forged it, no archive records it. It does not exist in the databases of Arasaka or Militech. No fixer can trace its origin, no Corpo Lab claims its design. It is as if it was pulled from somewhere else, somewhere beyond reach, beyond understanding. And yet, here it is, a fracture in reality shaped into an edge. Perhaps the Blackwall did not just change Kurametsu, perhaps it left her with something, a weapon not of steel but of absence. And when she strikes, the Blackwall answers. She does not need to understand it. She does not need to question it. She only needs to wield it. A warrior's armor is more than protection. It is identity, a reflection of the path they walk. For Kurametsu, it is the seamless fusion of past and future, tradition and the unknown. This is not corporate gear, nor the crude plating of mercs and gangers. It is a second skin, sleek, efficient, honed for a battle that never ends. She does not wear a face. Her mask is smooth, unreadable, devoid of expression. Its LED eyes glowing with an eerie, unnatural light. The world does not see a person. It sees a force, an executioner from beyond the Blackwall. Woven into the design, cold metallic cables coil like digital veins, wrapping around her like the remnants of a machine that never fully let her go. A silent reminder of the abyss she walked through, and the whispers that may have followed her back. Her body is a seamless extension of her weapon, clad in a reinforced bodysuit that moves like muscle, flexible yet unyielding. Every joint, every contour, reinforced for perfect balance between speed and resilience. Strapped to her back, twin katana holsters rest against the armored plating, their handles positioned just over her shoulders, waiting for the moment they are drawn. A braided rope coils beside them, its presence subtle, its purpose unknown. A remnant of something or someone long lost. A weathered grey pack sits against her spine, a contradiction, a wanderer's burden, a mercenary's tool, or perhaps something more. At her waist, an ornate hip sheath houses her primary blade, the resting place of a weapon that should not exist. And then there are her hands. Adorning her chrome fingers, a pair of luminous rings pulse like circuitry brought to life, their glow defiant, their meaning clear. Status, power, inevitability. A statement carved not in words, but in light. Encasing both of her wrists, a pair of weathered cybernetic braces remain, old, worn, their function long forgotten. A relic of another time, another self. A reminder that even in a city obsessed with new chrome, some things endure. Her armor is neither corporate nor traditional. It bears no insignia, no mark of allegiance, no symbol of belonging. Only function, only purpose. She is not human, not machine, not entirely real. She is simply the blade. A warrior is not forged by steel alone. Mastery is not just strength. It is the ability to shape battle itself. Kurametsu is not fast because she trained. She is not strong because she modified her body. She is all of these things because she has transcended limitation. Every motion is precision. Every strike is final. Her body does not move. It executes. Her mind does not react. It decides. Whatever she brought back from the Blackwall, it did not weaken her. It completed her. This is not just skill. It is the inevitable result of perfection. A sword means nothing if it does not reach its target. To fight with a katana in a world of smart weapons and railguns is not insanity. It is mastery. Kurametsu does not run. She flows. a flicker in the neon haze, a whisper in the wind. With the speed granted by dash and air dash, she moves through the battlefield like an apparition, closing distances in the blink of an eye. Mad Dash carries her across impossible gaps, while Flash and Thunderclap allow her to lunge at her enemies, striking them down before their weapons can even be raised. Bullets do not stop her. They become her weapons. Bullet deflect and bullet time ensure that incoming fire is not a threat, but an extension of her will. A well-timed parry sends death back to its sender, turning gunfire into an instrument of execution. And when the final strike is needed, it is delivered with Blade Runner, the finisher that turns her sword into a tool of both death and survival. With every execution, her body is restored, her speed sharpened, her momentum unbroken. Pain is an illusion. Fear is a weakness. A true samurai knows that survival is not about endurance. It is about becoming something unkillable. Kurametsu's body does not falter. Wounds do not slow her. Instead, they fuel her, driving her forward. Adrenaline rush turns damage into power, sharpening her instincts, ensuring that the harder she is pushed, the stronger she becomes. Painkiller and Juggernaut reinforce this endurance, allowing her to stay on her feet even when the battle should have ended. Discipline is more than training. It is preparation. The sword must be sharpened, the body must be maintained, the mind must be perfected. Kurametsu's cyberware is not excess. It is refinement. All things cyber enhances every implant, ensuring that her enhancements function beyond their intended limits. License to Chrome expands her arsenal, allowing her body to carry more modifications than any human should. Edge Runner pushes her even further, shattering the line between machine and flesh, trading fragility for pure power. She wastes nothing. Glutton for War ensures every stimulant, every health item, every combat tool is used at the perfect moment, keeping her in the fight long after others would have fallen. Pyromania turns destruction into an art, ensuring that when steel alone is not enough, fire will finish the job. There are warriors of the flesh, there are warriors of the mind. Kurametsu is both. A katana alone is not enough. The true samurai does not merely read the battlefield, she bends it to her will. With a thought, cameras go blind, cyberware malfunctions, enemies freeze, trapped in digital paralysis before the blade finds them. Hack Q allows her to layer Quickhacks seamlessly into combat, ensuring that no enemy can escape her reach. Overclock breaks the rules of the Netrunner's world, letting her hack even beyond the limits of her own RAM, at the cost of her own flesh. But all of it pales in comparison to the forbidden art she wields. The Militech Kanto grants her access to Blackwall Gateway, the most dangerous quick hack in existence. It is not an attack, it is not a virus, it is deletion. Her enemies do not just fall, they vanish. No remains, no trace, no soul, just emptiness, a gap in reality where something once stood. There is no hesitation, no wasted movement. Every cut is final. Every strike is death. She does not fight for money. She does not fight for glory. She fights because the Blackwall still whispers. Her blade is one weapon. The Blackwall Gateway is the other. She does not stop. She does not question. Because the path is not walked, it is cut. A sword is only as strong as the steel that forges it. A warrior is only as strong as the body that carries them. But Kurametsu's body is no longer bound by flesh alone. It has been refined, stripped of weakness, optimized beyond the limits of humanity. Every implant is chosen with precision, each system calibrated for a singular purpose, to make her the perfect Blackwall samurai. She does not rely on cyberware for survival. She becomes it. A true samurai does not fight blindly. Their mind is a weapon sharper than any blade. Kurametsu's awareness extends beyond human perception, every second of battle unfolding in her mind before it happens. With Axolotl, her cyberware is never on cooldown. Every kill resets the clock, allowing her to move faster, strike harder, and never falter. RAM Reallocator ensures that even when her reserves run low, they are replenished in an instant, keeping her control over the battlefield absolute. Memory boost turns every fallen enemy into fuel, restoring RAM with each neutralization, allowing her to chain Quickhacks and strikes with relentless efficiency. There are Quickhacks, and then there is Blackwall Gateway. Her Militech Canto Mark VI is not a mere cyberdeck. It is an artifact of something forbidden, something that should not exist. It does not simply disable enemies, it erases them. A whisper from beyond the Blackwall, and they are gone. No remains, no trace, no soul. She does not wield the net as a tool. It is an extension of her will, an unseen edge that cuts deeper than steel. Her sword is one weapon, this is the other. A warrior reads the battlefield. A samurai must see the fight before it happens. But Kurametsu does not simply see, she calculates. With Kiroshi, the oracle optics, no enemy is hidden. Heat signatures glow through walls, cyberware pulses beneath flesh, and danger is outlined long before it becomes a threat. Cameras, turrets, and tripwires are not obstacles. They are exposed weaknesses, waiting to be exploited. Her skeleton is not a foundation of bone, it is a fortress of reinforced steel. Dense marrow transforms each katana strike into devastation, the weight of her blows carving through enemies like paper. Spring joints absorb shock, letting her twist, pivot, and recover from impacts without slowing. Bionic joints further reinforce her structure, ensuring that even when outnumbered, even when surrounded, she stands unshaken. Kurametsu's reflexes exist outside the boundaries of human speed. The instant combat begins, Adreno trigger surges through her body, boosting her movement to impossible levels, making her untouchable. Neofiber fortifies her agility, enhancing mitigation strength, ensuring that even when attacks come close, they fail to land with full force. Stabber sharpens her katana's lethality, making every strike a killing blow, every cut a precise execution. A battle is not won by those who fight the hardest. It is won by those who endure. Her body does not tire. It does not falter. Blood pump ensures that even when wounded, her recovery is instant, restoring health with a single command. Micro-rotors push her attack speed beyond human capability, making her katana an unstoppable blur of motion. And when all else fails, when even the impossible seems to have brought her down, Second Heart activates. Even death does not claim her. When the enemy believes they have won, she rises, and the fight begins anew. A samurai does not cower behind walls. Their body is their fortress. Her skin is not mere flesh. It is a layer of engineered perfection. Chitin hardens her subdermal armor, allowing her to shrug off damage that would cripple lesser fighters. Proxy Shield punishes those who dare to fight her up close, reducing incoming damage the closer they get, turning close combat into a death sentence for anyone who faces her. Shock Gnaw is her final lesson to those who strike first, sending out a surge of electric force when she is hit, lashing out at those foolish enough to think they had the advantage. Even in defense, she is the one who dictates the battle. A warrior must always be in motion. Kurametsu is never where the enemy expects. Reinforced tendons free her from the ground itself, granting her the ability to double jump, to reach vantage points no one else can, to move with the fluidity of something that should not be bound by physics. She does not need cover. She does not need walls. She moves as if gravity itself cannot hold her. Her body is not an enhancement. It is a construct of will. Every implant, every modification is another step further from weakness, another refinement of the path she has chosen. She does not fear the Blackwall. She embraced it. And now, her body is something else. Not machine, not human. Just the blade. A samurai's path does not end in victory. It does not end in glory. It ends when there is nothing left to cut. Kurametsu walks this path alone. Not for honor, not for vengeance, not for survival. She fights because she must. Because the blade does not question its purpose. It exists to cut, to kill, to end. The Blackwall has left its mark on her, threading through her mind, pulsing through her cyberware like a whisper from the abyss. Her katana is an extension of her body, but so is the forbidden code she commands. She does not just strike with steel, She erases her enemies from existence, reducing them to nothing with a single thought. Every system in her body is designed for one thing: efficiency in destruction. Reflexes turn her into a blur of motion, an executioner whose strikes are faster than thought. Body refuses to break, forging her into a warrior who endures where others fall. Technical ability reforges her into a machine, pushing her cyberware beyond safe limits, ensuring she moves beyond human constraints. Intelligence warps the battlefield itself, turning the digital realm into another blade at her command. She is both sword and shadow, both assassin and executioner. But what happens when the last enemy falls? When there is no one left to challenge the edge of her blade? Does the warrior fade away, forgotten? Or does she turn the sword upon herself? One final cut to end it all. The Blackwall whispers its answer, pulsing at the edge of her thoughts, waiting. Perhaps she already knows the truth. The path only ends when she lets go of the blade, and she never will.